Hello. I'm a bit croaky this morning. I'm also a bit earlier than I normally am. It's kind of a case of I'm doing this while I've got the energy, but it's also a case that I've got a Sainsbury's order coming between 11 and 12, which is normally when I do my videos. So, Sod's Law says that if I start doing it at 11, even though I'm only on for a short period of time, that Sainsbury's will turn up. So I'm just going to pour myself a cup of coffee. And first of all, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has been so supportive to myself and Anthony. We're playing the waiting game now, waiting for test results. And yes, it's nerve-wracking, but luckily, I have all these techniques available to me that teach me just to, deal with what's in front of me and just take things one day at a time. And I am doing that as best I can. And it's not always easy. But I think the important thing is that, I'm not beating myself up about the fact that I'm needing to use the techniques more intently. I'm needing to use the techniques more often, because that's what they're there for. I've often said this before, and I will say it again. I sometimes think that people assume that because I'm a stress management consultant and I teach all these techniques, my life is stress-free. Oh, how I wish. Right now, oh, how I wish. But it's not. So I hope everyone will understand if my videos are a little bit shorter than they normally would be, and if I don't do an awful lot that needs me to be standing, but tend to do things that mean that I'm sitting rather than standing, because this is all quite physically tiring at times. And I need to save my standing energy for things that I really need to do. Anyway, this is part of one of my videos. It's all about accessible well-being for all. Hello, Samantha. I can see you watching me. And hello, Lorraine, if you're watching on Sam's phone. Accessible well-being for all means that I focus on techniques that don't need much time, aimed at all those people who really don't have very much time to spend with, sort of half-hour meditations or 40-minute Qigong classes or whatever. But also aimed at people who can't physically stand, who can't, wave their arms around in the way that I do with the Qigong. And as anyone from Cerebral Palsy Midland will know, we have a mantra, which is, if you can breathe, you can do it. And so today, what I would like to focus on is your breathing. And now I'm not particularly aiming at doing a mindfulness meditation focused on the breath. I want to talk about how your breath can reflect what's going on in your mind. Because if you've practiced meditation, then you will probably have noticed how when I get to the stage about focus on your breathing, it's quite natural for your breathing to slow down a bit. But your breath is actually a very good reflection of what's going on in your mind. You know yourself, if you're upset and there's a lot going on, your breath can sometimes be quite short and shallow. Whereas when you're calm and relaxed, your breath can be quite long and slow. And another thing I often say is that the best stress management technique, bar none, is to take a deep breath. Partly because when you take a deep breath, you're focusing inward, you're focusing on taking that nice deep breath. And so your thoughts just for that moment are not running around at 100 miles an hour, thinking about everything you've got to do. They're literally just focused on you. I bet you're ready to come home, Sam. I'm okay under the circumstances. I think your mum has seen what's going on with me and Anthony, so or rather going on with Anthony. Yes, I bet you're ready to come home. We're all missing you at CPM. Anyway, what I would like to do is teach you a slightly more formalised breathing technique that can be very, very useful when you do literally need to slow things down because it's all going too fast. And it's called box breathing. It's called the box breath. And since everybody watching this will have some control over their breath, it's something that literally anyone can do. And it's quite simple. You breathe in for a count of 4. You hold your breath for a count of 4. You release your breath on a count of 4. And then hold yourself empty for a count of 4. And that's all there is to it. You can see why it's called a box breath, because you've got 4 sections to the breathing cycle, and each section is an equal length, just as all the sides of a square are equal length. And if you can't do it to a count of 4, do it to a count of whatever you can do. I wouldn't say go 3, 2 minimum. You've got to slightly slow it down. So let's just practice that for a moment. Now we'll just do 3 repetitions of this. So breathe in for a count of 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Last time, breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. It works because, right, when you get stressed, that is your sympathetic nervous system going into overdrive. But because life is full of opposites, you also have a thing called a parasympathetic system, which is the one that helps you feel relaxed and calm and peaceful. And that breathing cycle helps stimulate the parasympathetic response. It gets rid of all those chemicals that want the sympathetic system to go into overdrive, and it allows the parasympathetic system to balance things out. As with all the techniques that I teach on here, do it in a way that works for you. The only thing I would say is, really, you do need to at least double the length of your breath. So you do need to at least do it to a count of 2. Make the cycle as long as you're comfortable with. I wouldn't recommend going much higher than 4 unless you've got really good breath control. But 3 or 4 is about what most people can manage, and it will be helpful. You don't have to do that many repetitions. If you've only got time to do it twice, that's better than not doing it at all. Again, 3 or 4 is about average. That you will need to see that benefit. But how long does that take? 2 minutes? And the only thing that you need to activate this technique is the awareness to recognize when your thoughts are sending you into a panic or you're feeling overwhelmed. And the recognition that you can actually do something about it, and to practice the technique. You just need to be able to be aware of when your thoughts are not working for you, and to be able to count. And I actually think most people are able to do that. Not everybody, but I think the vast majority of people, even those who have very, very little muscular control, will have some control over their breathing. And you've got to bear in mind that good morning, Dawn. You've got to bear in mind that, I at CPM, I deal with people who have got dystonic movements, who can't sit up. But the mantra of if you can breathe, you can do it still applies. And I'm not aware of anybody who needs help with their breathing. Most breathing happens automatically anyway. But if you're breathing, you can probably exercise some control over it. And that technique is really easy to do, doesn't need any special training, just needs you to be aware that, you're feeling overwhelmed, or you're feeling panicky, or you're feeling stressed, to recognise that, hang on a minute, let's take a step back, let's take that deep breath and just do that box breathing technique. Now, if you found this video helpful, I'm so pleased. It is my job in life to put videos out there that help people, and I am delighted to do that. Please feel free to share my videos with anyone else that you think may benefit. And this probably isn't true of this video, but if in any of my videos I say or do something that you think, I'd really like to know a little bit more about that, I'd like a little bit of a longer session, I am very, very happy to arrange 30-minute video sessions. Can be via Facebook Messenger or Google Meet or Skype, whatever, Zoom, whatever your preferred video platform is. I prefer it not to be Teams, if I'm honest, but I have used Teams, and I can use Teams if you send me your link for it. So whatever your preferred video platform is, we can arrange a 30-minute video session, one-to-one, just you and me. And all I'm asking for that is a minimum donation of £1. If you are someone I know has a very strong link to Cerebral Palsy Midland, then it's only 50p. Because I want to make these sorts of techniques available to people, and if people feel that they need you know, more in depth. I don't want people to feel that finances are a bar as to why they can't actually access a little bit of one-to-one to get something that's slightly more relevant to them, because inevitably these videos have to be horribly, horribly generic, because I don't know who might be watching it. So, my intention is to keep doing these videos once a week. I don't at the moment see me being able to increase it to twice a week, which is what I used to do. In long term, I would like to think that would be possible, but for the moment, this is what I'm doing. But as I say, if there's anything that, any particular topic that you would like me to cover, let me know, because these are your streams and I want to do things that will help you. So it can be Qigong, it can be mindfulness, it can be meditation, it can be looking at techniques for insomnia, looking at techniques for pain, looking at ways of building confidence or calmness, or if it's to do with what's going on in your mind, the chances are I can help. And if it's to do with what's going on in your body, then Qigong can help. So, but inevitably I have to keep these videos very, very, very generic. So anyway, I am going to close now. Hello, Richard. I've just seen you come in. Hello. So just a reminder that the techniques that I am trained in are Tai Chi Qigong, mindfulness, hypnotherapy, and Reiki, although really for Reiki need to be in the same, well, I can send distance Reiki, but it's not as good, and really do need to have people in the room with me. Indian head massage definitely needs you to be in the same room as me, and I'm not that keen on sort of doing mass hypnotherapy, so I don't mind doing, you know, sort of group meditations, but hypnotherapy I think really needs to be more one-to-one. And hypnotherapy is a really useful stress management tool. It basically it can be useful in any situation where you want to make a change. You want to change a particularly unhelpful thought pattern. So, you know, whether it's changing the unhelpful thought pattern that keeps you smoking, or the unhelpful thought pattern that keeps you with unhealthy eating patterns, whatever it is, if you know you need to make a change, then hypnotherapy one-to-one can be a very helpful technique. But really and truly, mindfulness, meditation and Qigong are the two most useful and most generically applicable techniques that I do on here. And my aim is to make them available to people to do at a time that works for them. That's why it's a video. You can watch the video anytime. To use the techniques at a time that works for them, and maybe to adapt the techniques to what works for their mobility issues, for their time constraints, whatever it is. Anyway, I'm going to end this video now and say thank you so much for watching. It has been lovely to know that people find my videos helpful. And as I say, is there anything particular you would like me to cover in next week's video? Pain management, stress management, poor sleep, whatever. Just let me know, because at the moment I haven't got a clue what I'll be doing next Tuesday. I'm happy to make it up as I go along, as I did today, and I got reminded about this box breathing technique I've taught you today. in something that I did yesterday to help me, and I thought that's a good one I can demonstrate on video. So they're your streams. I want to put in them things that help you, but to do that I need to know what you need help with. Anyway, I'm going to go, and I will wish you a good day, and I'll remind you that whoever or wherever you are, whether you're watching me live, whether you're watching the video later, however old, however fit, whatever your beliefs, I don't care. If you're watching this and it's helped you, I am so happy. And I want you to remember that you matter. Namaste.